Halloween's always been my favorite time of year. The cold air, the decorations, the smell of pumpkin spice everywhere. It all felt like magic. Every October, my neighborhood went all out. Giant inflatables, glowing ghosts, fake graveyards, you name it. This year, I wanted my house to be the best on the block. I'd spent hours setting up everything. Fog machines, orange lights, spooky music, and the centerpiece, a life-sized plastic skeleton I bought from a yard sale down the street. The guy selling it told me it was from some old haunted house attraction that shut down years ago. He laughed when I asked why it was so cheap. People say weird things happen with it, he said. I thought he was just trying to sound spooky for Halloween. I took it home, named it Bones, and set it up right in the front yard, leaning on a fake tombstone. It looked perfect. That night I even texted my friends a picture saying, "Best decoration on the block." But around midnight, while I was scrolling on my phone, I heard something strange outside. A faint clatter, like a plastic hitting concrete. I looked through the blinds. The skeleton had fallen over. I shrugged it off. Maybe the wind knocked it down. I went out, stood it back up, and went to bed. The next morning, though, it wasn't where I left it. Bones was standing by the porch, one arm raised, like it was waving. I froze. I definitely hadn't left it like that. I laughed it off again. Maybe my neighbor Eric was messing with me. He loved Halloween pranks. So I texted him, "Haha, nice try with the skeleton." He replied immediately, "What skeleton?" That's when the unease started to crawl in. That night I moved Bones back to the yard, made sure it was secured with the stakes, and even took a picture before heading inside. When I checked again an hour later, it had turned its head, just slightly, but enough that I noticed. I stared at it from the window for what felt like forever. No movement, no sound, just that plastic grin pointed right at me. The next few nights it got worse. Every morning the skeleton would be in a different pose, sometimes sitting in a chair, sometimes lying across the steps. Once I found it at the mailbox, holding one of my letters. I started filming. I set up my security camera aimed right at the yard, figuring I'd catch whoever was screwing with me. When I checked the footage the next day, my stomach dropped. At exactly 12:03 a.m., the skeleton's head turned slowly toward the camera. Then it stepped forward. The bones creaked, joints snapping softly as it walked off screen. But the motion sensor light never came on, and there were no footsteps in the snow the next morning. I tried to convince myself it was a glitch, maybe someone in a costume. But when I showed my friend Lisa the footage, she just whispered, "Where's its shadow?" It didn't have one. That night I decided to get rid of it. I threw the skeleton into my truck and drove it out to a dump about 15 miles away. I tossed it into a pile of broken junk, watched it disappear under a heap of trash, and drove home, feeling relieved. But when I pulled into my driveway, Bones was standing right there, on my porch, arm raised, waving. My knees almost gave out. I ran inside, locked every door, closed every blind. At 12 a.m., my motion alert went off again. The camera showed Bones walking up to the window. Then the feed cut out. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't even move. I sat there, holding a baseball bat, staring at the dark. At 3:07 a.m., I heard knocking. 3 slow, deliberate knocks on the glass. I looked up, and there it was, Bones, pressed against the window, its hollow eyes staring in. And for the first time, its jaw moved. It whispered. I swear I heard it. Let me in. The next morning it was gone. No tracks, no sign of forced entry. Just one thing. A small plastic handprint on the glass. I tried to tell myself it was a dream. I even called the police. They found nothing. But last night when I was driving home from work, I passed another house with Halloween decorations up. In the yard was a skeleton, exactly like mine, except this one had something carved into its chest. 3 words. See you soon.